Hello, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Daryl Mishluck. How the heck are y'all doing? That's good. Glad to see you. Hope you'll stay with us for the entire show. Well, tonight's show is number 2 in a series of 2 on dishes under $10. The last one we did was creamed peas and eggs on toast. It was a huge success and people loved it. And tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to do a hamburger and rice dish. Hamburger, you can usually get a good price on. Rice, something you have around the house, or if you need to buy it, it's not that bad. But you don't have to have just plain white rice and throw some salt and stuff on it. No, I say no, you don't have to be that way. You can make it fun. And that's what we're going to show you tonight. I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in each and every week, and thank our sponsor, Safeway, for getting all the produce and products we need for each and every show, plus our other partners and programming sponsors here on NCC 10. Well, we're going to get to our recipe in just 2 minutes. Hello, welcome to Community Cooking. I'm Daryl Mishluck, and we're back, and tonight we have another show about meals under $10. That's right, we can feed a family of 4 for under $10. I went down to Safeway, I went shopping, I looked for deals, and I came up with some recipes in my head. And tonight's is a ground beef and rice recipe. Ground beef and rice always seem to go together, but they don't have to be boring or dull. They can be a lot of fun and quite tasty. And hey, if you got any ideas for what you want to see, let me know, because I'd like to hear from you. Okay, we're going to start with cooking our ground beef first. Now, I have already bought the butter, so I don't have to go buy no oil. You usually have oil around the house, but we can use butter. So, we're going to cut up some butter, about a tablespoon or a little bit better. We put that in the bottom of our big pot here. This is where we're going to kick our beef. I put it on medium, get the butter melting. Now, I always like lots of spices in everything I do, and I know that, but spices can be expensive, so you may not have a lot of spices around. You probably have the basics. Salt, a little bit of shake of salt in there. Probably have some pepper, a little bit of pepper. I like pepper. Pepper's a really good spice. And just a little bit of garlic powder. You should have garlic powder around. But hey, if you're on a budget, the bulk bins, you can just go get a little bit of garlic powder. Hey, you know what? There are ways around it. It's tough sometimes. We all go through tough times when, the dollars are scarce and things have to tighten up. But you can still have some fun and make some great dishes. And I know there's lots of people out there with some ideas, so please send them to me. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this garlic powder in there. That's just to add a little bit of flavor to our beef. Now, beef itself, fried, has quite a nice flavor to it. Now, we have some Teflon utensils, which I'm going to use in the Teflon pot here. We have stainless steel stuff, but we also have the Teflon, because stainless steel and Teflon pots, they kind of get scratched up a bit. So our butter is almost melted. Just a nice little bit of flavoring. So we're going to add our ground beef. There it is in the pot. It's going to take a while to cook, but it doesn't take that long either. So I like to break it up. I like to brown my ground beef quite brown, because I find that adds a whole other flavor, which means you got to turn it up. Put it on medium now. I've almost got it at high. We have to keep an eye on it there. We have to listen to it. We can't turn our back for too long, because if you remember what's happened on past shows, there's been smoke from behind me. Not too proud of that, but hey, it happens. Now, in our other pot, now I was saying about rice. Rice doesn't have to be boring. What do you do to cook instant rice? You take the same amount of rice and the same amount of water. But it doesn't have to be water. It can just be some liquid. So what I've chosen tonight is, this is red pepper and tomato soup by Knorr or Knorr, or however you want to pronounce it. There's 2 cups of it here. So it means 2 cups of liquid and 2 cups of rice is what we're going to do. And instant rice is so easy. You get it boiling, you add the rice, you take it off the heat, and there you go. It's happening. So we have to get this boiling as well. So we'll cut this open and put it into our pot on the other side here. Now, if it's a little thick, which this is, we can always add just a bit of water to it, which I think I will do. Okay, so that's going to be fairly high heat to get going. I'm going to rinse this out with just, I don't know, not very much water. There's maybe 3 tablespoons of water in there. So there we have it. Now that's got to get to a boil sense. And then we need 2 cups of rice. So we have our big 2 cups is 500, yep. I was getting a little screwed up on the metrics there. Did I say screwed up? I meant I was unsure of my measurement. Okay, so there we have it, 500 milliliters or 2 cups. Then we also need to put some butter into it so the rice does not stick. So about another tablespoon of butter goes into our mixture here on the stove. That has to be brought to a boil. Once again, we'll get a nice spoon here. Okay, so we got 2 things going on the stove at the same time. Can I handle the pressure? You betcha. Okay, so our meat is cooking and it's browning. Now this was regular ground beef. You can buy extra lean, you can buy lean, you can buy not so lean. Whatever your budget declares, that's what you do. Okay, so I like to break it up as it's cooking so it gets into nice little chunks and then it actually cooks faster. I don't like to put the lid on it because I like some of the moisture to escape as it's cooking. And like I said, when you brown your beef, it gives its own flavor. Then just cooking, like if you just cook it and it's just cooked, look, it's fine, it has one flavor. But if you brown it, you get that little bit of rendering on the outside of the meat. It tastes wonderful. So that's what we're trying to do here. And we also are going to add some coloring to this all as we go along here. Now this is a dish that is really like a 1 bowl dish. This is like, I call it like a stew dish. So it's like a stew dish, a hash. It's served in 1 bowl. You can put ketchup on it. You can put salt on it, whatever you want. But it's all your whole meal in 1 bowl. So you don't need to do a lot of different courses. You don't have to have a lot of different things out of there. What you want to do though is sometimes you need to add stuff to your meal. It's simple. I mean, if you are going to be stopping every couple of nights to go shopping, which tends to be a habit now. It's not the once every 2 weeks shopping. A lot of people go shopping every night. You can pick up fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Watch for the prices, look for the sale. But that's a great dessert to have, is just slice up some fruit to go with it. It's an awesome way to get a nice, well-rounded meal. Okay, so our beef is cooking great. As you can see, it's cooking up nicely. It's browning, or starting to now. And we're burning off the excess water, which there tends to be in the beef. There's a bit of water, so it needs to be burnt off. Because I like to have it as just the flavors, as much of the flavors as possible. I keep that relatively high for a while longer. As you can see, our soup here is just starting to get to the point where it might want to boil. So we're going to turn that up a little bit more. Sorry. Splash! Ouch! Burn! Okay. Anyways, we need that boiling before we can put our rice in it. Because with the instant rice, once the liquid is boiling, you stir it in, you take it off, and you let it stand. With other rices, you got to let them cook in the liquid for about 20 minutes. Either way, it doesn't take a big long time. Okay, so we're wanting this to boil. And we're wanting this to brown, which it is. So, how was everybody's Christmas season? It was good? Good. Glad to hear. Mine was pretty good too. Yeah. Got a few cool things. Got some Kong slippers. They were kind of fun. Did you have family down? Yeah, it's always nice to have family. Oh, some of you traveled. Good, good, good. Well, if you'd like to be part of community cooking, if you'd like to be on the show, help me cook a dish, hey, just let me know. I think I can arrange it for you. Or if you got some recipes you want me to cook, well, send me an email. Or send me a suggestion. Say, Daryl, I want to make something out of this, but I don't know what the heck to do with it. You know what? We may be able to figure that one out for you. So that's what community cooking is about. Community, that's you. I'd like to welcome everybody up in Red Lake and Sioux Lookout on the community channels there too. Hey, if you got something, go to the website. You can contact me through there. Glad being in those towns. It's all part of where we live here in Northwestern Ontario. That's what Norcom's all about, community. We're in numerous communities throughout the north. Okay, so I'm going to turn down the beef just a little. Our soup is boiling, as you can see. Wonderful. So that means it is time to stir in our rice. 2 cups of rice. We're going to stir that in like so. Okay, and there we have it. This is tomato and red pepper soup that we're cooking our rice in. Now the rice needs, it has been brought to a boil, needs to be taken off the heat like so, lidded, turn off that element. There's our beef. We're going to take a break. Hello, we're back. And our dish tonight, we're going to call it tomatoey hamburger surprise a la Daryl. What we did is we took some hamburger meat, we cooked it up just with a little bit of flavoring, some salt, some pepper, little garlic powder. Those are things you probably have around the house, and if you not, you can buy small amounts of those, you know, out of the bulk bins. We also then took some rice, 2 cups of rice, and we cooked it in 2 cups of soup, a special Knorr soup, which was tomato and red pepper. So you can do that with instant rice. You can give it a whole other flavor. And what we're doing is we're making meals for under $10 because I had requests out there from people asking me to do something different. Sometimes the meals I prepare are kind of costly because there's a lot involved in them, a lot of different flavoring. And you know what? Everybody goes through tough times, and sometimes it's really tight on a budget. So you got to have alternatives. And this is alternatives that still provide you really good food, nutritious, plus it tastes darn fine, and you got nothing to be ashamed of. So now on the side, what you could do for dessert is we can cut up some fruit. So what I've done is I got some beautiful seedless oranges from Safeway today. So we'll just cut those up, put them in a bowl on the side. This can be dessert. 2 oranges and an apple. That's probably not a bad dessert for a group of 4. It doesn't have to be a ton. Gives you some nice fresh fruit. Makes you feel good. Let you smile, let the sun in, as the fruit says. Oranges are the kind of the sunshiny fruit of it all. Our timer tells me the rice is pretty much done. So there's some oranges we're going to have on the side. We'll have the apple. I don't like to cut up the apple till we're about ready to eat it because apples do go a little bit brown. So that's our dessert. Not a bad looking dessert. Hey, you could have bought some pudding. Pudding's not expensive. You could put some pudding together as dessert. Hey, there's lots of different things we could do. So what we're going to do is now we need to fold in these 2 parts of our recipe. I'm going to kind of just show you. See how nicely that browned up there? That browned up great. Shush up, timer cancel. All right. And anyways, it browned up really nice. So we take that and we're going to add it back up to medium heat. We're going to fold in our rice, which has such a beautiful color. Amazing look to it all. Okay, and then I'm going to fold that into our beef here. We're also going, oh, you can smell the peppers in that. And see, there's a way of getting some other flavor into your food. You can't afford to buy a huge pepper in the store. Well, buy some pepper flavoring like I did with this soup. It's a great idea. Okay, and then we're going to add some veggies to it all. Got a nice bag of mixed vegetables here. We'll put in, I don't know, let's say about half the bag or so. We'll stir that. That adds some more color to it all. And it also rounds out the dish a bit. Okay, now what you can do is, this is looking really good. You may want to add a little bit of water to it, just a tad. Doesn't need to be a lot. Maybe, 1/3, not even 1/3 of a cup there. Just to add some moisture to it all to help boil those vegetables, get those cooked up relatively quickly here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on that. Leave that on medium heat. That's our recipe. It's going to be out in just a minute. I'd like to take a minute to thank you all for tuning in each and every week to not only Community Cooking, but 807 Backbeat and the specials we run on the community channels. That's what community TV is all about, is stuff that you want to watch done right here in your community. And that's what Norcom does each and every week. We spend a lot of time, money, and effort to bring you shows that come from your area. And we hope that you enjoy them. And I think you do, because we get a lot of response from you. And if there's something you want to see, email us, call us, talk to us on the street. Whatever you like to do, there's lots of good things. If you want to be on the show, or if you want to see something on one of our shows, hey, let us know. because that's what it's all about. We'd like to thank our sponsors. First and foremost, Safeway, for getting all the produce and products we need for each and every show, plus our partners and programming sponsors. They're there, they're out, and they're about, and they're helping us bring these programs to you. We have a lot of fun here at NCC10, and we hope you enjoy the shows too. Sounds like I'm signing off. I'm not going nowhere. I just take a minute. We got to let this stuff heat up. So here we have it. It's still heating. It is almost done. You can hear it sizzle in there. It smells awesome. And this whole bowl here, this whole pot is brought to you under $10. Will easily feed 4 people, maybe even more. We're going to take a break. Hello, we're back. And our meal is done. I turned it up to high just for a minute because I put a little bit more water in there just to get some steam happening. As you can see, it did. We'll turn that right off. We're going to bring this over to the front counter so you can get a really good look at our mixture. And there it is. That is a wonderful rice and hamburger casserole a la Darryl with red tomatoes and red peppers. And you can smell, if you were here, you could smell the red peppers. Oh, it's such a great smell. Okay, so we're going to just put ourselves a little bit in a dish here because this is going to feed 4 people eventually today. It will be a meal around the station. Okay, so we're going to try a little bit here right now for you. Oh, hit the mark fantastically. You can have a great meal. You can prepare it for under $10, excuse me, and you can feed 4 people. That's a tremendous thing about having some fun in the kitchen and about being imaginative. Thank you for watching the show this week.